Hi, thanks for coming back to watch this third episode in our series on emotions. My name is Susan and I'm a counselor with Live Happy Counseling. Today we're going to do some heart breathing and I'm going to teach you a very helpful strategy for moving out of big emotions. But first, let's have a quick review of what we've already done. In the first video, we talked about emotions and how we feel those emotions in our body. In the second video, we looked at worry and anxiety and we practiced externalizing it so that we can feel calmer and figure out what we want to do with the situation. You know, worry and anxiety don't just change the sensations that we feel in our body, they also have the power to change our thoughts. Sometimes worry and anxiety can make the thoughts in our head a bit scary. When we think about those thoughts that worry brings on, thinking about them more doesn't make those thoughts go away, and ignoring them or pretending those thoughts aren't there really isn't helpful. In fact, the more you try not to think about something, the more you're likely to think about it. Try this. It's a little experiment for you. No matter what I tell you, you have to stare only at me. Ready? Focus only on me. Now there is a giant spider crawling up the wall behind me, but don't look at it. Only look at me. Only me. Got it? Now it's my guess that your eyes might have darted to the wall behind me, and if they didn't, it's probably likely that it took a lot of your energy to stay focused only on me, and all that focus is really tiring. So let's not ignore it. Go ahead and look at the wall. There really isn't a spider back there. I am outside, so there could be a spider, but if there is, it's probably tiny and harmless. But here's the thing. Just like you had to use up so much energy to stay focused on me and not look at the wall behind me, that is also what happens when we try to ignore worry. We want to be able to look at the thoughts that anxiety and worry stir up, to acknowledge the emotion and say, yep, there's anxiety, bringing me a message again and hanging around too long, and then externalize it. And when it's externalized, it just feels lighter. Once we get the emotions out, you can see that you aren't that emotion, it's just something that's bothering you. So if you haven't watched the second video, make sure you swing back around after this to watch that one. Another thing I'd like to share with you, when I woke up this morning, I set my intention for the day to take more time to connect with gratitude. Now, if you haven't heard the term intention before, what I'm referring to is just a small goal that I set for the day. I set an intention every morning, and it just helps my attention stay focused on something. The intention that I set for the day is usually positive, and it's always pretty different. So today, my intention was to focus on gratitude. If you're not familiar with the word gratitude, it just means that your heart is full of thanks. Being with you here today is a great place to share my gratitude. So here it is. When I create these videos, I create each one in a whole bunch of different sections. And then each one of those sections has to be pieced together. But I have no idea how to do that. So Brody Bieber is the talented video editor who takes my video pieces and puts them together to create one smooth episode for you guys to watch. Brody is the son of a very good friend of mine, and without his help, I would probably not be getting these videos out to you. So to you, Brody Bieber, thank you so much for giving us your time as you piece these videos together. We appreciate it. Thank you. In fact, let's all of us just take a moment together and think about someone or something that you are grateful for. Think about what it is about that person or that thing that you're thankful for. It doesn't have to take long. And just sit with that thanks in your heart and with your heart open. If you're watching this episode with somebody else, how about pause the video here, turn to each other, and share your gratitude with each other. It feels good to express thanks. I know I feel it in my heart. Maybe you can feel it in yours also. Okay, on to our mission for today's episode. We are going to look at 2 strategies that you can use to calm down those big emotions. My goal is to make sure I'm giving you lots of tools for your tool belt, so to speak. This tool belt isn't one for construction though. It's one that you can use for dealing with stress and upsetting situations, and it can even just help you cope with day-to-day frustrations or bits of sadness that might arise. Having this type of coping tool belt puts the power into your own hands to crank down the volume on super loud emotions so that you can feel better and get the help you need or sort out the solution to whatever problem you are facing. Let's start by getting totally present in this moment. We're going to use our breath to get settled and fully into our bodies. That probably sounded pretty funny, and maybe you thought, Susan, come on, I'm always in my body. I'm pretty attached to it. And you're right. What I mean, though, is that sometimes we get so distracted throughout the day that we don't take the time to really be aware of how we're feeling in our heart or in our mind or in our body. We can use our breath to get back in touch with ourselves, to sort of create a separation between whatever you were doing before you started this, even before you started this video, and this moment here right now. So get totally comfortable wherever you're sitting and just inhale through your nose, and then you're going to exhale. You're going to exhale through your mouth, slowing down your thoughts, letting that breath just flow in through your nose, and then out through your mouth. Just like that. Feeling your sit bones in the chair you're in, for me on the floor of a treehouse. Getting completely present in this moment, in the room you're in. Feeling the inhale in through your nose and out through your mouth. Not worrying about any moment that's still to come. Not getting stuck in any experiences that have already happened. Just staying totally present in this moment with your breath. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. Keep doing that. Keeping your focus right here. Since we were just talking about feeling gratitude, let's bring our attention to focus just on the area around your heart. Bring your attention to that area. Feeling relaxed with your breath just in this moment. If you could give a color to that area around your heart, what color would you give it? In my community, there are a lot of white hearts right now to honor the hard work and the dedicated work of everybody at our local hospital, the Vernon Jubilee Hospital. So I am going to extend that beautiful white color to the space around my heart. What color did you choose? Letting your breath be there and just picturing that beautiful color around the area of your heart. Inhaling and exhaling. Noticing the sensation of the air at your nostrils as you inhale. Maybe it's a little tickly. And at your lips as you exhale. Noticing that breath around the area of your heart, mixing peacefully with the color that you chose for that area. Letting your heart soften and open. Letting your intention rest there. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Let's activate a positive feeling to go along with this breathing. Think about a fun moment or a peaceful moment that you had recently. Maybe a time that you felt loved or understood or cared for. I'm picturing a moment this morning with my dog when she just suddenly jumped up onto my lap and curled up. But she's a very big dog. She's 85 pounds, and so it was very silly to see her trying to fit her whole body in the chair on my lap. Even when I think about it now, it brings a smile to my face. What emotions stir up for you as you think about your positive moment? Do you notice any sensations starting to shift in your body? Maybe it makes your heart feel even more open and even more peaceful. Just enjoying that, sinking into those good feelings and those sensations in your body. Breathing in one more time all together. And exhaling out. And let's just reach your arms out in front of you and cross them over and bring your hands to rest on either shoulder and just tap, alternating back and forth as you think about that peaceful moment and how it makes you feel happy and calm. Let's have one more big breath in. Exhale out. Stretching your arms and having even a little bit of a wiggle after we were sitting still here for so long doing that breathing together. How was that? What I love about teaching folks these breathing techniques is it's something that you can use anytime you need to calm and settle your body, to get back into the present moment and focus your attention after you've been distracted or upset or even just really busy. Learning to help your breath get slow and deep is a really important tool for your tool belt when it comes to moving out of big emotions. And it's probably one that we're going to come back to a few more times during this whole series on emotions. You might feel like you need to get up and move your body. So take a moment, if that's the case, stand up, have a nice stretch, stomp your feet back and forth a couple of times. Do what you need to do for your body so that your attention feels fresh. Okay, we're going to do one more thing together today. We are going to use the power of your imagination to help you feel calm and relaxed. Our imagination is sort of like a superpower, and just like any superpower, it's at risk of being hijacked. I don't know about you, but I love superhero movies. And it really does seem to me that very often superheroes have something that when it's in the wrong hands, it can be used to cause a lot of trouble. Well, just like them, our imagination can be used by the trickster worry and anxiety. When worry gets in charge of our imagination, suddenly we start thinking all the scary or upsetting thoughts and things that could happen. And when we think about all those worrisome thoughts, those scary things go into our imagination, and when we imagine them happening, our body feels them as though they're happening in this very moment. Here's an example. Have you ever had to talk in front of your whole class, maybe giving a speech? If you have, maybe the day before you had to go give that speech, you thought about it, and maybe you thought about standing up in front of the class and forgetting the words. Or maybe you thought somebody in the class might frown, or say something mean, or ask you a question and you thought maybe you won't know the answer. And as you thought about all of that stuff, your whole body started to have a lot of sensations. You might have felt your throat start to get tight, or your belly felt sick and trembly. Maybe your heart started pounding, or you started sweating. It's amazing. All you did was think about a scary situation. You thought about worry, and your whole body reacted. That's a pretty incredible superpower. So let's get back on track with using that superpower as a helper. To use our imagination for good, to help ourselves feel calm and more relaxed. Ready? Okay. This technique is called moving out of big emotions with imagination, and today we're going to use it to create a peaceful place. I call it a peaceful place, but you could call it a safe place, a happy place, a calm place. Choose the name that just feels right for you. Let's think of a place. It could be real or it could be imaginary. Let's think of a place that makes you feel peaceful, safe, relaxed, or happy. What place makes you feel that way? It could be a real place like your room, a backyard, a garden, a tree, or a tree house. It could be an imaginary place, maybe something from a book you read or a scene from a movie that you saw. It could even be a place from a picture that you saw once. When I was in university, I saw a commercial for traveling to Bermuda, and it showed a beautiful, sandy, quiet beach with clear water. And for a lot of years, that image was my peaceful place. And I had never even been there, but it worked. It gave me a sense of being relaxed and peaceful because our imagination is just capable of that. So, do you have an image in your head now? If you need more time to think of one, pause the video here and then come back. All right, ready? Close your eyes if you're able to. Otherwise, just let your gaze slowly lower onto your lap, and let's get that image really strong in your imagination. When you picture yourself in your peaceful place, what do you see around you? Picture that now. When you picture yourself in your peaceful place, what colors do you see? When you picture yourself in that peaceful place, what temperature do you feel on your skin? Would there be nature around you? Whatever this image looks like, just picture that in your mind's eye. Okay, open your eyes if they were closed. When you pictured yourself in your peaceful place, what feelings came up for you? Maybe you felt safe, relaxed, calm, peaceful, happy. When you picture yourself in that peaceful place with that emotion, where do you feel it in your body? Remember that felt sense of emotion that we talked about in the first episode? Maybe you feel calm or peaceful. You feel that in your belly or in your heart. Maybe your shoulders feel relaxed, or maybe all the muscles throughout your whole body feel relaxed like a piece of cooked spaghetti. You know what spaghetti looks like before it's cooked. It's just hard, but once you cook it, it's all wiggly and easy to move. Maybe that's how you feel when you picture yourself in your peaceful place. Picture it now, and the emotions that you feel, and where you feel that in your body. And while you have that image in your head, let's cross our arms over and tap back and forth. Get that image really strong. If you could pick one word that would remind you of this feeling, what would you choose? Maybe happy. It could be #happy or peaceful. Think about your word now. What would it be? You could write your word down so that you don't forget it. You could print it in really big letters and make a sign for your room, or you could put it on a really small piece of paper like a cheat sheet for yourself. Whatever you decide, however you decide to write your word down, please do write it down. And just take a moment, let your breath be there. And when you think of that word, picture yourself in that peaceful place. Let yourself sink into that peaceful place to ease out of any big emotions that might bother you. Now, let's pull up that image of the peaceful place and the emotions that you feel when you picture yourself there, and where you feel those emotions in your body with your word. Hold that all together and just tap back and forth. Get all that information good and strong in your memory. Do you want to try an experiment? I really hope you said yes to that question. Okay, think of something that happened recently. Something that bothered you, but didn't bother you too much. So on our bothering scale, it would be maybe a 2 or a 3. Think about that bothersome experience and the emotion that you felt. Maybe you felt frustration, maybe you felt sadness. And thinking about that bothersome situation, where do you feel that emotion in your body? Maybe when you think about that bothersome experience, you feel all those sensations in your body as though that situation is happening right now. That's okay. That's just the power. That's just our imagination being our superpower. It's being hijacked, right? But we've got this, no need to worry. Think about that word that you gave to your peaceful place. Got it? Picture that beautiful, calm, peaceful place where you are safe and cared for and at ease, and let yourself just sink into it. Picture all the things that would be around you in your peaceful place. Would you be standing or sitting? Would it be a warm temperature? Would there be nature around you? Get that peaceful place strong in your mind's eye. What do you notice now? We can use the bothering scale to notice, has your number come down? If it was a 2, is it maybe a 1 or a 0? That is the power of our imagination when we use it for good. Perhaps you might like to draw or paint or scribble your peaceful place. When this episode ends, please do that. Please take a moment to create your image and then keep it somewhere that you look often. Maybe in your room as you're going to sleep at night so that your dreams are peaceful, or something that you see when you wake up in the morning so that your day starts off with a calm intention. Thank you so much for watching today. I would love to hear about your peaceful place. If you would like to share it with me, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. If you have a parent with a social media account, they can find me at Live Happy Counseling, and I would love to see what you guys created for yourselves. I so enjoyed our time together today, doing a breathing technique and learning to settle with our imagination. Stay courageous and kind and wash your hands often. I'll see you soon.